If you are the parent of a little one who is struggling with those dreaded diaper changes, well, then you need to stick around today because I'm going to share some of my top tips for getting through challenging changes with your little one. Let's get to it. Okay, so we've all been there before where our child who used to be pretty easygoing and chill during diaper changes all of a sudden has no interest in wanting to do them. Or maybe your child never wanted to do them to begin with. So today I want to go over some of my favorite tips to help manage those challenging changes. And the first one is to start early with incorporating some of these strategies into the diaper change routine or the dressing routine. This can go either way. And the reason I say that is because if you develop a routine when and if that stage happens where your little one all of a sudden decides they want nothing to do with diaper changes, you've already got this kind of transition piece in place that can help them know when the beginning and when the end of this routine is going to be. Having said that, let's move on and talk about my first tip. So my first tip is to give your child choices throughout the day. Now you might be asking, what the heck does this have to do with diaper changes, Jill? Well, it has to do with the fact that as kids get older and start getting closer to those terrible twos, which I think are terrific, little ones tend to go through a stage where they want to have more and more control. So giving them choices throughout the day about things that you don't care about is a great way to share control and can actually lead to fewer meltdowns and tantrums. So the key with our choices is that one, it needs to be only two choices. We can't go into this, do you want this, do you want this, do you want this, do you want this? Two choices. The next rule is that if they don't make a choice, you make a choice for them and you pick the thing you think they would like least, because we want our little ones to learn that speaking up and letting us know what they want is in their best interest. And third, you want to make that choice within about 5 to 10 seconds. So count in your head, do you want milk or do you want juice? Give your toddler 5 to 10 seconds to process that request. If, again, they don't make a choice, then you make the choice for them. Okay, so doing this throughout the day is like putting money in a bank for a toddler. You are giving them some control, which means that during those times where they can't have the control, they might be a little more inclined to be cooperative. Okay, my next tip is to use a transition song. So when it's time to do a diaper change, come up with some silly little song or routine that you can do to transition them to that changing table. So it could be we sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star as we run to the changing table to make it fun for them. Or maybe we do a rocket ship countdown, 10, 9, 8, 7, as you're running towards the diaper change table. And again, see, this is why if you start earlier with your child with doing this routine, it can then make it just a comfortable portion of their day, even as they go through those periods where they want to have more and more control, because you've already made it fun from the beginning to go into this routine. Okay, the next tip is to try a visual picture schedule. Now, I've done other videos on the benefits of using a visual picture schedule, which I will make sure that I put a link to, so go check that out. But for those little ones, especially the little ones who aren't tuning in and paying attention to our words and are focusing more on our body language, having a visual picture schedule can be helpful, where you show them we play, then we change our diaper, then we go down for a nap, or then we go outside and play. So that visual picture schedule can help get them to tune in more to what we're actually trying to communicate and helping them to understand first this, then this, which can make it a little bit easier for that particular transition for them. My next tip is to have a specific finger fidget that your child only gets during those diaper changes or clothing changes. So one of the real popular things right now are those little finger poppers, little plastic things. So maybe you have one that just stays at the changing station in the bedroom, or when they're putting on their clothing that they can do it, which could be a little bit awkward, but only if they're having a tough time would they be able to do this. So incorporating some kind of finger fidget. It can be like a stress ball. It could be, I love the pop tubes, the stretchy pop tubes. Those are a lot of fun for little ones, but they only get it when they're on the changing table. So having that specific finger fidget for that moment can be really helpful in distracting them. Next up, hang some fun posters on the wall near the changing station or up on the ceiling. Better yet, I've had some parents over the years that have made like a sensory board and hung that next to the changing area. So maybe like some sandpaper, a little chunk of fur. I've had some that have put gadgets like the chain door locks on it. So making almost like a busy board that they can just reach over to and touch and explore with their hand while you're doing the diaper change. So something that can distract them. Or taking pictures of something that they like dinosaurs, and putting them around the room and asking them, can you find the T-Rex? Can you find the cow if they like farm animals? So just something, and maybe you switch it up every now and then to keep it interesting for them so that they don't get bored like, oh, we play this game every single time. Remembering, though, that kids like repetition. Okay, so try some visual, interesting pictures or some finger fidgets that you can hang on the wall. My next tip would be to give some sensory input before the diaper change, because that's a lot of times why toddlers really struggle with the diaper change, is they don't want to stop the activity that they're doing, or their brain is saying to them, go, 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 don't interrupt my movement and what I'm doing. So incorporating things like a bear hug as you pick them up to give them that deep pressure and those calming chemicals to the brain, or maybe doing a transition motor planning activity like we are going to jump like rabbits all the way to the bedroom or to the changing station, or crawling like a bear, or slithering like a snake, whatever you can think of. All of those activities can calm the brain down and meet that body's need for input, but in a fun way, while making the transition to the changing area more fun for your little one. A tip for challenging changes would be to incorporate some sort of song or finger play into the diaper change. I like using a song like Twinkle Twinkle, or better yet, the ABC song, because it's almost long enough, depending on how slowly you sing it, to get all the way through a diaper change. The reason that I like doing songs as a part of the diaper change is it helps our little one know that when this song is over, the diaper change is over and we are all done. Our little ones don't have a great sense of time yet, so they don't, in their minds, understand or think about how long this process is going to take. They just know this is not fun and I want to be done with it. So singing the ABC song or counting to 20, whatever kind of song or finger play that you can think of to try to distract your little ones. I like using music because it lights up all the areas of the brain, and children's brains just naturally tend to attune when they hear us singing or doing a song or a finger play. So incorporate that into your diaper changes from a young age, again, so there's a familiarity and they understand when the song is over, the activity is over. All right. So another tip for helping with challenging changes is to do some kind of fun conclusion to the activity. Like every single time we're done with that diaper change, you get a big bear hug, or maybe you get a piggyback ride back into the living room, or I set you down and we race like rockets back into the living room. So incorporate that into every single diaper change so it becomes a part of the routine and it's fun. Some kiddos do better with a standing change. Now, I know that this is not ideal for us as parents, but if our little one happens to be really fighting it, you can do the stand-up change and know that you're going to get them good and clean the next time or during the bath time later on in that day. Some kids have what we call postural insecurity, so they really fight laying down. They prefer to be in an upright position, maybe because they have some muscle tone differences in their core. Maybe they're lacking some body strength or have low muscle tone. So some of those kiddos do better with a standing change. One thing that I've noticed on a lot of home visits is parents try to stick to one particular changing area, which can be fine. But as our kids get a little bit older, sometimes we have to have some flexibility and be more willing to do the changes in different areas. It's a great way to work on listening skills too and incorporate your toddler into the activity of go get the diapers, go get the wipes, go throw this in the diaper genie. Sometimes when we involve them in the activity, it makes it more meaningful for them and they're more willing to cooperate. So anyhow, try having diaper change areas set up in different areas of the house so that it makes it easier for you and for your child. If your child is really continuing to fight that diaper change, then the best thing you can do is just power through it. But you want to limit how much you're talking to them during that routine, because if they're really agitated and screaming, keeping in mind that when brains are angry and overflowing with emotions, they're not listening to us anyhow. All right, they're just feeling the feels. So what I suggest to parents in that situation is to just power through it as quickly as you can, minimizing your talk. Maybe just incorporating the counting or the ABC song at a very, very quiet, almost whisper level, if that's something that you had been doing in the routine earlier on before your child started fighting it. So that there's a little bit of familiarity and you're keeping that routine of helping them to know that this is almost over, but just doing it by focusing on that song or the counting or whatever activity you had incorporated into the diaper change. Okay, so that is it for this week. I hope you found the information in this week's video helpful. I do remember how challenging those diaper changes and clothing changes can be for our littles. So hopefully these tips will help you develop a routine that makes your challenging changes into smooth routines. If you want more parenting tips related to early childhood, make sure that you sign up for my newsletter and I'll send you tips right to your inbox every week or so. Okay, thank you so much and until next time, guys.